How important is this offer from Barnier?
Good morning, Annalise. Well, as Mr. Barnier was saying, he's trying to de-dramatise this issue. This has been a source of continued drama, though, in these negotiations, and I don't think this is really going to change anything, because what we're seeing from Mr. Barnier is a change in the language that he's using, but behind the scenes, he's still butting heads with Dominic Raab, the Brexit secretary, who yesterday called for him and the EU to shift their red line, saying that the UK had already done enough. And in reality, it still doesn't bring us any closer to a solution. No one in the British government wants any kind of border infrastructure there. Indeed, people in Northern Ireland voted to remain, many of them knowing in that referendum that any kind of hold-up at the border would cause problems for both economies, but also there's a lot of historical implications behind this. So this solution that the EU has put forward just now, we already know that's unacceptable to the UK. They don't want any kind of checks on this border, but at the same time, they earlier in the year refused to let Northern Ireland stay in the customs union single market because they don't want a border down the Irish Sea. So I don't think this really takes us anywhere. We're still stuck in a pattern of deadlock on this.
Still stuck. But where does this leave Theresa May in the negotiations?
Well, Theresa May is going to carry on with these negotiations. We know tonight that she's going to Salzburg. She'll have about 10 minutes to try to sell her Brexit plans to EU leaders. That's something that she's been doing continuously over the summer, going above the heads of the EU, of Michel Barnier, just trying to directly deal with people like President Macron, Chancellor Merkel, and they have very much been putting the pressure on Brussels to get a deal done. But it still doesn't solve the issue of the Northern Irish border, because a report conducted by MPs here looked at borders around the world to try to see if there was any kind of technical solution for an invisible border. They couldn't find any others around the world. Brexiteers say it's still possible, but as we're seeing, these proposals that Michel Barnier has put out have already been refused. There are questions about technically how these checks would work anyway. So I think very much the Northern Ireland issue is still in play for Theresa May.
All right, Vinny McAviney live for us in London. Thank you.